Picture this. A royal bombshell drops, shaking Buckingham Palace to its core. Prince Harry's latest revelation has unleashed chaos, and at the center of it all, Queen Camilla, facing whispers of being cast out from the royal family. What did? Harry say that could unravel decades of loyalty and power? Stick around because this story is wilder than you think. Let's dive straight into the heart of this royal drama. The British monarchy, an institution built on tradition, secrecy, and carefully curated images, is no stranger to scandal. But what's unfolding now feels like something ripped from a Netflix series, except this is real life. Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, has once again thrown a grenade into the royal fold with claims that have sparked rumors of Queen Camilla facing an unthinkable fate, being banned from the royal family. So what's the truth behind this explosive narrative? Let's break it down step by step, starting with Harry's bombshell and how it's ignited tensions across the Atlantic. First, let's talk about what Harry actually said, or at least what's been reported. In early 2025, whispers began circulating that Harry had made pointed remarks about Camilla in private conversations, remarks that somehow found their way into the public sphere. These weren't just casual comments. They were sharp, personal, and aimed directly at Camilla's role in the monarchy. Sources close to the Sussexes hinted that Harry revisited old wounds, accusing Camilla of orchestrating Movesto secure her position as queen consort, while sidelining others, including himself and his late mother, Princess Diana. The specifics? Murky at best. Some claim Harry suggested Camilla manipulated narratives to paint herself as indispensable to King Charles, while others say he hinted at deeper, undisclosed betrayals during his childhood. No direct quotes have surfaced. Harry's too savvy for that, but the speculation alone has set tongues wagging. Now, before you roll your eyes at another tabloid frenzy, consider this. Harry's no stranger to shaking things up. His 2023 memoir, Spare, already peeled back the curtain on royal life, exposing raw family tensions. He didn't shy away from calling Camilla dangerous back then, claiming she'd used the press to boost her image at the expense of others. That book sold millions and left the palaces scrambling. So when whispers of a new revelation emerged, it wasn't hard to believe Harry might have doubled down. After all, he's living in California, free from royal protocol, and he's got a platform, bigger than most. Whether it's a podcast, an interview, or a leaked chat, Harry knows how to make waves. But here's where it gets juicy. The idea of Camilla being banned. Let's unpack that. The term sounds dramatic, like she's being escorted out of Buckingham Palace with her tiaras in a cardboard box. In reality, banned likely refers to something more subtle, but no less seismic. Could the royal family, or at least certain members, be pushing to limit Camilla's influence? Maybe strip her of key duties or freeze her out of public favor? To understand if that's even possible, we need to look at Camilla's place in the monarchy and why Harry's words carry so much weight. Camilla's journey to queen consort hasn't been a fairy tale. When she married Charles in 2005, she was the other woman in the eyes of many. Princess Diana's 1995 interview, where she famously said, "There were 3 of us in this marriage," cemented Camilla's image as a homewrecker for a generation. Over the years, though, Camilla worked hard to reshape that narrative. She took on patronages, over 100, focusing on literacy, domestic violence, and osteoporosis. She kept her head down, avoided flashy headlines, and leaned into her role as Charles's rock. By the time Queen Elizabeth II died in 2022, Camilla had earned enough goodwill to be crowned alongside Charles in 2023. Elizabeth herself paved the way, stating in her Platinum Jubilee message that Camilla should be queen consort, not just princess. Consort as originally planned. That was a big deal, a royal stamp of approval. So why would Harry targether now? To get that, we need to rewind to his childhood. Harry was 12 when Diana died in 1997. He's been open about his grief and his belief that the royal system failed his mother. In Spare, he wrote about begging Charles not to marry Camilla, not because he hated her, but because he feared she'd replace Diana's memory. William reportedly felt the same. Fast forward to today, and Harry's an outsider, geographically and emotionally. He sees Camilla not just as his stepmother, but as a symbol of the institution that chewed up his mum, and, in his view, pushed him and Meghan out. When he calls her out, it's not just personal, it's a jab at the whole royal machine. Now let's talk about the fallout. The idea of Camilla being banned hinges on whether the royal family could, or would, act against her. King Charles is the key player here. He's been married to Camilla for 20 years, and by all accounts, she's his anchor. Charles isn't exactly Mr. Popularity. His approval ratings hover around 50%, lower than William's or Kate's. Camilla's steady presence has been a buffer, especially during tough times like his cancer diagnosis in 2024. If Charles were to distance himself from her, it'd be like cutting off his own arm. Plus, he's not known for bending to family pressure. When Harry and Meghan stepped back in 2020, Charles didn't chase after them. He let them go. So the notion of him sidelining Camilla over Harry's words seems like a stretch. But what about other royals? Prince William, the heir, reportedly has no love lost for Camilla. Sources say he's never fully warmed to her, though he's civil. Kate, too, keeps things professional but distant. Could they push for Camilla's influence to be curbed? Possibly, but William's got bigger fish to fry. Modernizing the monarchy, raising his kids, and dealing with his own health scare aftermath for Kate in 2024. A power move against Camilla would be risky, especially if it looked like he was siding with Harry. The public might smell blood, and the last thing William wants is more headlines about royal infighting. Then there's the public angle. Camilla's approval ratings aren't stellar, around 40% in recent polls, but she's not hated either. She's carved out a niche as the dependable, no-drama consort. If the palace suddenly sidelined her, it'd spark questions. Why now? What's Harry got on her? The monarchy thrives on stability, and ousting Camilla would scream chaos. Plus, there's no precedent for it. Even Wallis Simpson, who caused Edward VIII to abdicate, wasn't banned. She just lived in exile. Camilla's already weathered worse storms. She's not going anywhere without a fight. So where does this banned rumor come from? Likely a mix of truth and exaggeration. Harry's comments, whatever they were, probably stirred tension. Maybe a heated family call or Afrosti exchange at a royal event. The press, smelling a story, blew it up into Camilla's out. Add social media, where X posts amplify every whisper, and suddenly you've got a full-blown conspiracy. Some users even speculated Harry's digging into Camilla's past, maybe hinting at old secrets tied to Diana's era. But without hard evidence, it's just noise. Let's zoom out for a second. Why does this matter? Because it's not just about Camilla or Harry, it's about the monarchy's future. Charles is 76, and his reign won't be long. William's next, and he's signaled he wants a leaner, more transparent institution. Harry's outbursts, whether you love him or hate him, force the royals to confront their baggage. The secrecy, the grudges, the way they handle dissent. Camilla's caught in the crossfire because she represents the old guard, a link to Charles's past mistakes and Diana's pain. If Harry's pushing for accountability, she's an easy target. But here's the flip side. Camilla's not helpless. She's got allies, Charles for one, plus courtiers who've backed her for years. She's also got a track record of resilience. Remember, the 1990s when she was public enemy number one. She didn't crumble then, and she's not crumbling now. If anything, Harry's attacks might rally her supporters, framing her as a victim of his vendetta. The palace could spin this to her advantage, painting her as the loyal wife enduring unfair jabs from a wayward son. What's next? That's the million-dollar question. If Harry's got more to say, and let's be real, he probably does, it could escalate. Maybe a new book, a Netflix special, or even a direct call-out in an interview. Each move tightens the screws on the palace, forcing them to respond or ignore. Ignoring's safer, but it risks letting Harry control the narrative. Responding, though, could backfire. Remember how their rebuttals to spare just fueled the fire? For Camilla, the smart play is staying above the fray. Keep smiling, cutting ribbons, and letting Harry's ords fade into background noise. One thing's clear, this drama exposes the monarchy's fragility. It's not just about Camilla being banned or Harry spilling tea. It's about a family and an institution struggling to balance loyalty, legacy, and truth. Harry's revelations, whether they're fact or feeling, chip away at the royal mystique. And in an age where every move is dissected online, that's a dangerous game. The public's fascinated, but they're also fickle. If trust erodes too far, no amount of tiaras can save the crown. So here we are, caught in this royal tug-of-war with no end in sight. Is Camilla really on the brink, or is this just Harry stirring the pot again? One thing's for sure, the truth is slipperier than a palace. Press release. And just when you think you've got it figured out, boom, another secret's waiting to drop.